Both tacos! How about that one?
That's our new leaders right there.
Big Silly!
University of Montevallo, 24-96. National champions, Wallace State, Briar and Clinton. Hey there, guys. Welcome into the studio. We're back from our first event of 2023, the Pickwick Slam, presented by Evolution Fishing. I'm your host, Kyle Curry, for a new episode of the Rapala Collegiate Bass Podcast. Joining us today are Charlie Wright and Logan Plueger from top-ranked University of Montevallo, winners of the Pickwick Slam presented by Evolution Fishing, with a two-day total of 43.83 pounds. Charlie, your reaction real quick. Less than a week removed from the tournament. Weigh-in was Sunday. We're recording this on Friday. Tell me what it's been like this week coming off of that, or have you even really gotten used to it yet? Or are you still riding the high from that major victory?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been an awesome feeling all week. Being able to come away with that top spot, Pickwick Slam, but I've been focusing on a lot of schoolwork and, with finals week coming up and doing a little bit more fishing. So that's about all I've been up to this week.
For the major victory, you guys taking home over $4,000 in prizes and contingencies. First place paid out a $1,000 Bass Pro Shops gift card, $1,000 Garmin credit, 10-inch Bob's Machine Shop jack plate, 2 Evolution Fishing backpacks, 2 13 Fishing Concept A reels. Going on down the list, you also claim the ACA logo contingency for being the highest finishing team with that on your jersey as well. Logan, tell me real quick, man, no entry fee tournament, competing for 2 days at Pickwick Lake, to be able to go home with that much stuff, pretty awesome, and it probably kind of hard to comprehend right now as well.
I mean, it's definitely hard to comprehend, but ACA does it right. I mean, they give you food after every day weigh-in, the tournament meetings. I mean, y'all got one of the best tournament trails going on out there, no entry fee, and you just get so much out of it. So, I mean, it's amazing, really.
Appreciate that. We love doing what we do. It's always a great time to get out on the trail. Like we mentioned in the intro, this was the first event for 2023 for us. So we were at the AFCO Open at Lake Darnell a little while back, getting back out on the trail, getting things going, and also the season winding down now for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Before talking about the tournament, let's talk about you two as an angler duo here real quick. Charlie, I alluded to it on the stage at the tournament, but I believe if I went back and looked, the last couple of weeks, obviously the team has done really well, but you two as a two-angler pairing, I think, have contributed as one of maybe not the highest finishing Montevallo pairing, but one of those that contributes to the double points. And now you guys finally are the highest finishing pair to contribute to those points. But just kind of talk about this run that the past month has been for you guys. It's probably a little surreal because every time you go out, you've been at different lakes with different types of conditions, and you're still finding success.
Yeah, I mean, it's been just spending a lot of time on the water, and we had a pretty rough go of things in Florida, and went back up north and fished fished Ozarks, Cherokee, and Pickwick, and got on a pretty good little hot streak and qualified for all 3 national championships. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, we've just been spending as much time as we can on the water around college here in Lay Lake and Mitchell and stuff, and it's really kind of hard to go to these different lakes and figure out where the bass are, like in the spawn, are they post-spawn, are they pre-spawn. But luckily we've been able to stay on top of them the last 3 tournaments. So,
Logan, as Charlie's talking there, he's alluding to probably a little bit about how y'all work together as a team, and you'll get out there and put things together at each event as you go along, and that's a big part of the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, is the entire club, right? The whole group there at Montevallo. But then for you two, on a week in and week out basis, it's the two of y'all in the boat pretty much for most of the week, from practice until the tournament, for 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. Talk a little bit about how y'all work together, how you complement each other, and how you think that has played a part in the success that y'all found over the last 4 or 5 week stretch.
Oh my goodness, it's crucial. I mean, especially with having Charlie in the boat, it's just fun out there, and just keeping a positive attitude at it, even when you get little lulls like that. I mean, he can tell whenever I'm down, or I can tell whenever he's down, and just, like I said, bring each other back up, and just keeping a positive attitude in the boat is huge. So
let's get into the specifics now. We have an article on our website, Bass Pro Shops Top Gear. We're taking a look at the top 3 teams in the Pickwick Slam presented by Evolution Fishing, highlighting baits, lures, line, tackle that you guys use for success out there. For y'all, ended up being the winning gear. Charlie, give me a little bit of information into how y'all were catching your fish. For those that go over to the website, collegiatebasschampionship.com, you can see all this broken down in detail. But Charlie, talk about the baits, the line lure combinations that y'all threw over both days of competition, and did it change at all, or was it the same for both days?
Yeah, I mean, we kept it the same for both days because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we were just fishing a chatterbait on the north side of Pickwick, so close to Kentucky Lake there, and fishing some eelgrass clumps that we had found fishing in practice. And I mean, in practice, we kind of just got 1 fish or 2 fish left, but they're like 3-pounders. So we were hoping we'd go get 15, 16 pounds in the tournament, and ended up being a lot more than 15 or 16 pounds in that area. So very fortunate that we just happened to land on them. And I was throwing braid to a leader, and he was throwing just straight fluorocarbon on that chatterbait. I lost a couple of second day. Probably should have switched to that fluorocarbon, but that's all we were doing. It's just targeting small eelgrass clumps with the chatterbait.
Logan, tell us a little bit about how y'all clued in on these fish. For me, myself, whenever the bass kind of went on to beds, in that in-between phases, they're not totally pre-spawn and they're not yet fully post-spawn. Wasn't really one of my favorite times to be out on the water. If you could side fish, it was great, but if you couldn't, it kind of got a little tricky and didn't really fit my strengths. How did you guys target this pattern, and how were they setting up? You know, you look at the weather. The week leading up to it, it was in the 80s, and then at the tournament, it cools off. We're coming over from Texas. It's been in the 90s here already, and the air conditioner's been running for 2 months. But that doesn't necessarily mean that every bass in that lake has made its way up to the bank or has finished spawning and is on its way back out. What stages were these fish in, and how did y'all go about keying in on them?
Well, it was kind of crazy because watching the week before and just the weather we've had being unseasonably warm like this so far ahead, there was fish pre and post spawn. We were catching both. But the main thing that was going on is there was a shad spawn that was going on the bank, but there was big gizzards off the bank. And those big ones that were pre and post going up into the spawning phase that were adjacent to fishing, they were leaving us and coming to us. So it was best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, standing up on the stage, weighing in the fish, I could see him coming in, and I believe even possibly there were several big fish that I weighed. They had bloody tails still, so that's a sign of, man, they either just finished or someone caught that fish actively spawning while they were up there. And it was interesting to see other fish look very lean and skinny, as you would think from post-spawn, but they kind of healed up a little bit, and then others were still very thick, fat, and obviously had not come up to the shore to spawn.
That 6 we caught the first day was definitely post-spawn.
It was.
We lost bigger, that was pre-spawn, and then that 7 we caught, I'm guessing it was pre-spawn by how fat she was, but it was cool. She was in an eelgrass clump by some bluegill beds, so she could have been post-spawn, just eaten up, but like I said, we had both of them coming.
That's crazy. You know, Pickwick's such a big fishery, even the opportunity to lock up to Wilson. So from dam to dam, as you know, in fishing, fish can be in all types of different stages, depending on north, south, how deep, how shallow the water is. Fish set up in a lot of different ways, and it's not easy to assume how they're setting up in regards to the tournament days when we were out there. Charlie Wright and Logan Plueger joining us right now from number 1 ranked University of Montevallo. Got the win, 43-83 for 2 days at the Pickwick Slam presented by Evolution Fishing. Charlie, we'll talk a little bit about the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia now. We have to. You guys are ranked number 1. You're on the verge of possibly making history at Lake Hartwell following the conclusion of the Boat U.S. Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops. 1 year ago, we were in Mississippi at Barnett Reservoir. Montevallo, in my time helping with the ACA and being associated with collegiate bass fishing, that's the first time that I can remember schools finishing first, as one school having teams finish first and second and maxing out on the total number of points that could be earned at a given event. Last weekend, you guys finished first and third, coming up just 10 points shy of the total maximum number of points. Again, major accomplishment for y'all. What does it do for the team going forward? Mindset, confidence, as y'all are in first place and grow that lead by about 500 points over second place.
Well, I mean, this year the championship on Hartwell is triple points. So this first year it's like that. So we just really want to get as big a cushion as we can in the points race for that tournament. So we got some boys up there fishing Guntersville right now for MLF, and then Bassmasters coming up on the Red River, and then we got Hartwell. So we're just gonna, hopefully keep the momentum rolling for the team, and hopefully keep gaining some points, and just get as big a lead as we can get before Hartwell, and just see how it all shakes out there.
Logan, let's continue to talk about the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. You guys were able to put together a great week, first and third, like we said. We're going to have the points update out soon. We'll have that over on collegiatebasschampionship.com. I'll have a write-up as well. It's looking like y'all, like I mentioned, y'all are going to extend your lead by close to 500 points, so it's going to be around 3,600-point lead over second. First, second, and third, however, will have increased the gap between them and the team trailing behind them, and then that stretch of like 4th through 8th is pretty tight. And as Charlie alluded to, triple points, so maximum number of points a team can earn at that end of the year ACA National Championship is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 7,000. So for lack of better reasoning, as I take a look at it, if someone zeros and someone's within 7,000 points, there's a shot for anybody in there in that spectrum to have a chance at making the move up. What are y'all trying to accomplish the next couple of weeks? I believe there are 2 major double points events before the Triple Points Championship. One of them's happening right now on MLF, and I believe Bassmasters got one still to go before we compete at Lake Hartwell to finish out the season. What are y'all looking to do? Obviously, the answer is going to be get as many points as possible, but how are you going to do it? What's the game plan, the mentality amongst the team down this final stretch?
Well, the good news about Montevallo is we have so many good anglers that we can send ourselves and spread ourselves out, where other schools, I mean, they have the number of anglers, but just having truly good anglers that can finish. I mean, if you ain't finishing the top 5 at Montevallo right now, I mean, you really ain't doing much. So just with our boys being so hot and everybody fishing so good, it really just pushes one another to, I mean, truly have to get a top 5 finish. So, and historically, Montevallo is really good at Hartwell. I mean, knock on wood, but we have so many boys from all around the country that anywhere we go, somebody's going to catch them. And I think that helps us out a lot for school of the year.
Talking a little bit about the team there and the makeup of it, all the anglers on the club, those that contribute week in and week out. We talk about it quite a bit on here, and with y'all, it's different anglers, it's different people from different parts of the country going all around and catching them. That's the formula to success for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Charlie, when the weigh-in concluded the other day, we'll kind of mesh the tournament conversation from the Pickwick Slam presented by Evolution Fishing with our conversation here in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Seeing everybody there on site, I always ask this to y'all because when we get down to the end of it, it happened, and it's happened for like the last 2 years at several different events for us as I've been on the stage weighing people in. We get towards the end, a Montevallo team's got a chance to win. Everybody from the club standing out there in the crowd cheering y'all on. How cool is it? Y'all had the moment yourselves to be up there. We're interviewing you towards the end, and everyone's right there supporting you, man. What's that say about the team and just kind of the camaraderie around the whole group to be able to work together, root each other on, and it's resulting in success that could end up being collegiate bass fishing history and a three-peat?
I mean, it was amazing being able to stand up there on that stage and win first place with the whole team there supporting us, and it's crazy because I've been in that group of guys cheering on whoever else is winning, and it feels good to be the one on the stage. But it don't matter who's up there from Montevallo. We're always going to be there to support them, and a win's a win, and they're not easy to get. So we love it when Montevallo wins.
And when y'all did last weekend, 2 major victories, a win at the Bassmaster College Series at the James River and a win at the Pickwick Slam presented by Evolution Fishing. As we alluded to, we'll have the updated points out. Great weekend for y'all, but also a major stepping stone towards what I know is the goal of trying to win 3 straight titles for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Logan, let's transport about 3 or 4 weeks in advance here on into the end of May, leading up to Memorial Day weekend. We're at Lake Hartwell. What would it mean for the team to be able to hold that trophy again and know that as you're in that moment on our stage with possibly having won your 3rd straight title for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia, that you're accomplishing college fishing history, something that no one else has ever done. Transport yourself to that moment. What would the emotions be like? What would it feel like to be there, be present, and know that you contributed to something that possibly might not ever be done again, but for the first time, y'all accomplished it as a group?
Oh my goodness, it would mean everything. I mean, I've been fishing tournaments forever, and I couldn't imagine myself sitting on the boat when I was 6, 7 with my grandma, that I would be here today, really. And just having the chance to do something like that and just reaping the benefits, really. Just being out on the water and trying as much as you can to do good and succeed and seeing those results show. And just the whole team, like I said, everyone's fishing good and everyone earns it. I mean, it's not one person doing everything, So it just feels good as a team all around to make history like that. And hopefully we can keep it up. I mean, a 3-peat's fun, but man, once you start winning, a 4-peat looks a whole lot better. So hopefully we can keep it up.
Less than 1 month remains in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. As we've alluded to, a winner will be crowned following the conclusion of the Boat U.S. Collegiate Bass Fishing Championship presented by Bass Pro Shops at Lake Hartwell. That's going to conclude our conversation today with Charlie Wright and Logan Plueger, winners of the Pickwick Slam presented by Evolution Fishing from number 1 ranked University of Montevallo. Get over to our website, collegiatebasschampionship.com. We'll have updated point standings over there. Also, if you're looking to earn more points and find out events that qualify towards that School of the Year race, that's on our website as well. Thanks, guys, for the time today. We'll see y'all as you did qualify for that ACA End of the Year Championship with your top 10 finish at the Pickwick Slam presented by Evolution Fishing. We'll see you there at Lake Hartwell in about 3 to 4 weeks. Safe travels until we see you guys there in Anderson, South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fishing is all about connecting with nature. Then grabbing nature by the lip and holding it up for a picture.
If you want to be here, it all starts here. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we have the widest selection of the quality brands you love to get you outdoors. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our friendly, knowledgeable outfitters will help you find the right products for your next trip. Shop with confidence with our low price guarantee. Plus, club members save even more on great gear with exclusive member pricing. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, voted America's best outdoor retailer.